Hello operator, and welcome to the official Lost Corp ship mining guide. In this guide, we're going to go over the basics of ship mining with Lost Corp, and as such, we'll be going over the Argo Mole, the backbone of our operations. But there may be a thing or two for your prospect miners in here as well. We'll be touring the mole, going over the laser turret's HUD, controls, the process of mining, and additional tips and tricks to help you out along the way. So put down your multi-tools, pick up your flight suits, and let's get started. Before anything else, let's quickly get acquainted with the Argo Mole. I won't be doing a tour of the Prospector, because that tour would basically be done, well, now. Once you enter the mole through the crew elevator, the first thing you should see is the engineering room with the jump drive at the back or aft end of the ship. There are laser operator rooms on each side of the ship, with a ladder next to the starboard door that leads to the second deck of the Argo Mole. Going up the ladder brings you to the mole's habitation room, where you will be met with the door to the components hall towards the bow, and a door to the crew quarters towards the aft end of the ship. Going into the components hall, there will be a ladder leading down to the mole's front laser. This is most likely where the pilot puts their leading laser. Past the components hall is the cabin of the mole, where the pilot and co-pilot operate the ship's flight systems and weapons. Now, let's get to the lasers. But before you cause an explosion on the pad or interrupt your pilot's quantum travel, you should wait until after the last jump to the mining area to get in your seat. Getting in any of the mole's laser turrets while it's still on the ground will extend the arm below the landing gear, which can cause harm to the vessel or even cause it to explode. So you should just avoid getting in that seat altogether until the last jump to the mining area has been initiated. Since that last jump just initiated, we can now get in our turret. Hold the interact button and look around the top panels for the power button. Here, you can move the mouse around and you'll see the reticle following a cursor to move the turret in that direction. Pressing the Q key switches between the reticle locking to your mouse movement or having it follow a separate cursor. Pressing the G key toggles gyro turret mode. This will allow you to hold the turret in place on a specific point independent of the ship's movement. At the top, there are two multifunction displays, or MFDs for short. Both the MFDs and the HUD should pop up to this layout when you turn on the turret. Starting with the left-hand side of the floating HUD, you'll see the type of mining laser that you are currently operating, along with its current and effective range below it. Under, you'll find the laser turret's mining modules. Each module can be activated by using Alt with the corresponding module slot number. The text in the upper mid section tells you which of the two laser modes are currently in use. Right-clicking switches between mining mode and extracting mode. On the Prospector, the M key switches between combat and mining lasers. The bar on the left side of the center circle is your current laser's intensity. This bar shows your current power output that your laser emits into your target. Clicking the left mouse button will toggle the laser on and off. Another alternative of turning on the laser is by holding left click, then releasing left click to turn the laser off. Using the scroll wheel on your mouse, scrolling up increases the laser's intensity, while scrolling down reduces it. This only applies to the mining laser, as the extracting laser only has one intensity. The lined bar represents your scanner's strength when you're looking at a mineable rock. The lined red zone above that shows how much interference or noise your scanner is getting from other rocks around it. This bar shows how much of your scan is complete. The charge level bar on the right indicates the current charge output on the rock. The higher the charge, the more volatile the rock will be. We'll go into breaking rocks in a bit. On the right of that, there are the scan results that tells the type of deposit, its mass, the instability multiplier of that rock, and its resistance to mining lasers. The composition tells you the material makeup and the percentages of those materials in the rock. The cargo section tells you how much of the ship's cargo is filled up out of your max cargo capacity, and under that is the material makeup of that cargo. And lastly, there is a hidden section that only shows up after extracting volatile cargo such as raw quantanium. It will indicate its current stability and its time until the cargo needs to be jettisoned by the pilot to prevent the ship from exploding. Going back to the charge bar and the process of mining, This bar consists of 3 zones: charging, optimal, and overcharging. The charging zone is the initial phase and must be filled in order to reach the rock's optimal braking zone. The green optimal zone indicates the ideal charge level for the rock. In order to successfully break a rock, you have to hold the charge level in the green zone for a set amount of time. Most rocks need to be broken into smaller chunks before you can extract any ore. Chunks that need to be broken are outlined in orange, where extractables are outlined in purple. If you cannot see an outline of a broken rock, you can check if it has an optimal bar that needs to be filled. No optimal bar means it's free to extract after everything else of value is broken. The mass of the rock will affect how much power is needed to break. If too much power is applied to the rock, the overcharge zone will fill up like the optimal zone. With more of the red filled, more force is applied to the fracturing of the rock. A fully overcharged rock will destroy the composition and cause an explosion, damaging or destroying most things in the area, including the ship you're in. You can reduce the red charge by lowering your laser's power usage to 0. Moving the laser off the rock will cause the optimal zone to shrink, making it harder for the red charge to reduce faster back to the green zone. Just be sure to stay on target. Lost Corp mainly mines raw quantanium for our source of income, so make sure you are extracting quantanium only after every rock of value is broken in the area, or until your leading laser gives you the go-ahead. After you get the go-ahead for extraction, switch over to extraction mode and try to extract the biggest possible percentages in the cluster first before moving on to the smaller ones. Communication is key, so be sure to communicate with your mining crew to ensure maximum profits for everybody on board. Thanks for watching! And if you feel like getting lost with us or thinking about making big and easy money in the world of Star Citizen with veteran mining crews, Lost Corp can help with that. Like and subscribe if this video helped you out, or if you are just feeling lost.